My name is Nicole Mylan. I am the program director for Harmonia Residence, which is the shelter that was the former Chandler Hotel. So we opened in the beginning of January, not yet to full capacity. When we opened, it was it was very fast. It was DHS said, we need rooms now. So we opened while we were under construction. We have just recently finished most of the construction, almost all of the construction on the resident rooms. At our max capacity, we'll have between 163 and 170 rooms. And each room is, we serve adult families, so each room consists of a family of 2 adults. It can be a parent and an adult child. It can be a married couple. We have siblings. We have an aunt and her niece. We have grandparents and their grandchildren. So when we're full, like I said, we'll have between 163 and 170 families. And we provide as many social services as we can within the shelter. So right now we're still staffing up because our office space is still under construction, but right now within the shelter we have case management, housing specialists, employment specialists, we have a clinical social worker, nursing, patient navigation, peer specialists, and then our operations staff. We're starting to get, we're going to be cooking our meals in-house. So very soon, actually at the end of this month, so in just 2 weeks, we're going to have a food service manager so that we'll be able to provide 3 meals a day, 7 days a week to everyone that lives there. Currently we have 110 families, so 220 people. We don't yet have stats on who our residents are because we are so new, so we're getting batches at a time from DHS. What's going on right now is that they're closing some of the smaller adult family shelters and we're getting whole shelters. So I think next week they're closing a shelter of 18 families and we're going to get all 18 of those families. So we don't yet know because they're coming in bulk. We can't say this is what our population looks like. We are a general shelter, so it's not for mental health, it's not for substance abuse, not for medical issues. However, we do have all of those within the shelter. We do have a large population of medically frail individuals. One of the reasons is because we have elevators. A lot of shelters do not have elevators, but we do. We also have ADA compliant rooms with bathrooms that actually fit wheelchairs. We have roll-in showers, and we also have nursing on site. So for just a little bit about nursing, what we're able to do right now is we're doing the basics and we're writing our policies and procedures. But as we ramp up, once our offices are complete and we have everything that we need, we're going to be doing HIV testing, flu shots, TB tests, pregnancy tests. There is discussion about being able to dispense Suboxone. We're also doing, minor wound care, medication pours, and we have our patient navigator who's part of the nursing team who will take people to doctor's appointments and take people with mobility issues to other sorts of appointments that they have. We have also taken people to, we're using Beth Israel right now for substance abuse treatment. When we find out that someone is not in treatment, we have our patient navigator take them, because it's in walking distance, to Beth Israel. That has been very successful. We've actually gotten people into methadone maintenance programs. We will be getting additional social workers, so we'll be able to do group, family, and individual counseling. Right now we're only doing individual because we only have 1 social worker at the moment due to space constraints from our construction. We think that our construction is supposed to be done in about 6 weeks, and then we'll be able to be fully staffed up, and then we'll really open up our services. We're looking to bring in services such as health education groups, yoga, potentially exercise groups. We really want to get as many services within the building as we possibly can, although we are making linkages with external agencies for services that we can't provide. We have one housing specialist right now and another one who's starting in 2 weeks. So we do have things that are in the pipeline. We have leases that are signed. Our housing specialist, by the way, has been with us for a month. So we have leases that are signed. We have 421A buildings where we have people accepted, but the actual move-out time takes a little while, getting all the subsidies in order, getting all the checks cut. So we do have about 4 more families who are in the pipeline to move out. So I'd say he's doing a pretty good job for a month in, and already moved out 1 and has 4 ready to go. Oh, one other thing that I did not mention is our community coordinators, which is important and really goes along with what you do. So we have 3 community coordinators, and their job is to really canvass our specific block, and sometimes they'll go around the block to the neighboring blocks to look for people who are street homeless, engage them, and offer them services and see what we can do to help. We have gotten one individual who was sleeping on our block, we got him to agree to go to Bellevue Hospital to get re-engaged in psych services. He did have a diagnosis of schizophrenia. Also, there was a couple sleeping across the street who, when I have spoken to people, a very famous couple that had been there for a very long time with a mattress, box spring, and nightstand that they had a little tent. They are now gone. We can't take credit for that, although we did start to engage them a lot. We talked to them. We gave them different resources. I'm not sure how they ultimately left, but they did leave. And we would touch base with them daily. But we've found that trust is huge. And it takes our community coordinators multiple times of going to see someone to even get their first name. So, and sometimes we'll get to them through our residents. So our residents will go out and we'll befriend them, and then our residents will introduce them to the community coordinator. Right now, 35 staff members. We will be going up to 51, and about half of those 51 are in the pipeline. So they already have accepted offers, and they're waiting on, completing their paperwork and going to orientation. Every evening, you have to sign a bed roster. Both people in the household have to sign the bed roster. If you don't sign for 2 days, then you can be logged out, and you have to go back to intake and start over again. But we do have a lot of families that work, and some of them work evenings, so we do give out late passes for legitimate reasons. We are actually going to start a clothing closet on Saturday. we have it planned out that we have our first donations of clothing coming in on Saturday, especially for interviews. We do have our employment specialists who will be able to send people down. But one thing that we're finding is that, especially people who are coming from a home into shelter for the first time, is that they've lost the majority of their stuff. The shelter, the DHS rules say you can take 2 bags with you, and that's it. So we will be providing clothes also for non-interviews for people who have lost a lot of stuff. As far as dishes and housewares go, we cannot keep that stuff at the shelter. That's stuff that they're not allowed to have in their rooms.
Well, they have you. And you as well, Erica.